Hey Sarah, thanks for being here. Just clearing the field. I got a message. Spirit's been wanting me to come on and give a message. Hello. I'm gonna do it one more time. No, what? That wasn't a good one. Ah. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. My name is Patience. I'm your favorite spirit medium, host of Spirit News on all major platforms. Thank you so much for all your love and support. We are so grateful for our community that we are attracting at this time. How fun is it? Well, listen, I don't normally come on in the middle of the week, but Spirit's been really hounding me about bringing a message for it. I don't know what it's going to be about. Some of the names I was getting was Will. I've been getting Will for a long time. It could be the name Will, could be William, could be a will, like a will and testament. I'm not sure, but definitely Will. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who has been guided here, who's been guided to our community. We're very excited to see who we attract and who is attracted to us. And it's been a really fun ride learning energy through my spirit team. If you're not familiar with our work, my name is Patience. I'm a child psychic. I turned my powers off for a long time because it wasn't acceptable in my family to have abilities. I was told I was demonic. And so that really scared me, and I stopped honoring my gift and kind of ignoring it, but it's always been there. It's always been there in the background, and I've always known it. I just didn't talk about it. I didn't tell people because I didn't want to be rejected, and I didn't want people to think I was crazy. It wasn't really accepted. I'm 42 now. Because of some traumatic incidences in my life, I ended up really building a relationship with spirit and choosing spirit over the situation I was in to like focus on. And what ended up happening is I jumped a timeline, and with every guidance I followed of my spirit team, every piece of guidance they gave me, it catapulted me into this like ultimate timeline where in this timeline I've jumped to, I'm a medium. And so now that I've honored my original blueprint of what I came here to do, I'm learning about energy in real time. Through learning our connection with spirit, we take the guidance that they give us and we apply it to our life in real time. And then we tell you what happens, what the outcome is, what we thought was beneficial, and honestly, it's all been beneficial. If it weren't for them, I might not even be alive. Okay, so we're really passionate about teaching you guys energy. We're really passionate about helping the collective understand what energy is through our own experiences. Not for you to do it like us, but for you to see that this is real. And the energy we're going into, the new earth energies, are going to require you to accept that you are non-physical energy having a human experience. And it will help you to attain alignment. And we really care about your alignment. We really, really care about you. We want you to have fun. We want you to have a happy experience here. We want you to learn the lessons and overcome them quickly so you can move on to the next levels of your assignment. Okay? Once you awaken, you can start your soul's assignment, and we're really excited for you to do that. We're choosing joy, and we're just happy to be here to be of service. We don't get anything out of this by sharing information other than the joy of knowing that it could help one person. If anything we post helps one person make a better future decision and jump a timeline into their ultimate potential, that is what makes us happy. So we're happy to be here. Spirit needed to deliver a message. I don't know what it's going to be about. I was getting the numbers 1244 or 1244, 144. I was getting 1010. I was getting 111. So also the name Will, Stephanie, and something about red feathers. Okay, so I don't know if that resonates with anyone, but Spirit, Let's do it. What is the message? How can I help? What messages do we have for our collective? I did have a dream the other night about a roof missing from a house. Someone could have had the roof blown off of their something, of their foundation. Something could have happened to someone's coverage, like their protection. They might not be protected, something like that. Okay. Holy Divine Spirit, please let us know what the message is. How can we help? Please activate my abilities at this time to connect with you, with Archangel Michael. Someone could be losing their occupation. Someone could be losing their job. Someone's in their emotions. Someone is experiencing emotions from their unconscious mind. Oh my gosh, expose hidden emotions. Just like the, I told you someone's being exposed. There's some hidden expose. Someone's being exposed for something, for some hidden emotions that are being brought into the air. They could be part of some kind of order, or they could have worked together with people in order to gain some kind of nourishment, but now they're being forced to examine their emotions to try to understand them. So they're feeling very exposed right now. There's something they did unconsciously that has to do with emotions that they weren't looking at or weren't. Kathleen, Spirit just said Kathleen. Let me turn the volume up. Can you guys hear that? So there's something about that. Okay. Someone worked very hard and was satisfied with their work because they were trying to produce something beautiful, but something's leaving them exposed. People around them are starting to notice aspects of them that weren't showing before. Someone in your energy is being exposed, and they're being exposed to the people who were part of some kind of order or some kind of group thought or friend group or something like that. They try to be an alchemist. They may have tried to appear as if they were pure, incorruptible, and highly valuable. Like they were wealthy, noble, generous, expansive. Seconds. But now that they're being exposed, they're starting to see that this person in your energy isn't any of those things. They're actually greedy. They're actually miserable. They could possibly have a hoarding problem. They lack warmth. The sun is exposing them for lacking warmth. Yeah, so someone's being exposed. Just like that roof. In my dream, the roof was missing. So there's something going on. I'm going to get down to it. I don't know all the details yet, but there is something about them not having protection. They may have they may have been some kind of mysterious place. They may be experiencing supernatural creatures or like hostility in their environment. They could also be susceptible or influenced into hostility because of some kind of religious ritual they did. Something they may have done. Oh, that's so funny. This says moon, and I put this song on, but it didn't have lyrics. It's called Sun and Moon by Diamond Saints. It's just like a like a dubstep song, so it didn't have any words to it, but it did say sun and moon. So there's something, and it had a yin and yang sign that was blank. So there's someone in your energy that is being exposed for, they tried to come off as something incorruptible and highly valuable. But they're a hoarder. They're lacking warmth and growth. All that glitters is not gold. People may have trusted this person in your energy. This person really presented themselves as someone of nobility. But there's something that they did that's exposing them now, and they're not protected. So they may be experiencing some kind of supernatural things. I don't know, something threatening, something that makes them in some kind of like fear state that's making them subjected to emotional, this is emotional blackmail. So something that they can't hide, something that is a direct reflection of their true, who they truly are. Okay. So let's see what that's what that's about. Spirit, what is this? We'll do our share cards. There's someone who didn't follow the rules. Someone who thought they were above the rules. Someone who thought that they had wisdom about something, but they didn't follow the rules. This could be cosmic law, because I know a lot of our collective, it doesn't understand cosmic law, and that leads to a direct experience of that. Especially free will could have something to do with free will. Connie is my ex. Happy now that we're divorced. Good for you. Yeah. Well, just know that Connie was contracted to give you lessons, and so I hope you got what you needed out of that experience. What was contracted. If you guys are separated, then you probably did. That soul contract was fulfilled. So this person feels exposed. Tell me about this exposed energy. Why do they feel unprotected? Like, what's happening? Thank you, Holy Divine Spirit. What's happening with this person? They're feeling restrictions right now because of some kind of sudden change. Something that they thought, something they took pleasure in. Some kind of, oh my gosh, doesn't that look like a moon? Didn't I just say moon? So something about trying to conceal some kind of knowledge, or whenever I see smoke, that's usually indicative of some kind of manipulation. There's also a house here. Something about a house. And these are two burglars. These are two little burglars. So something about someone trying to steal something. Trying to steal and conceal. Something about trying to steal and conceal something. Some kind of knowledge about a relationship, or about trying to shut someone's mouth about some kind of knowledge. They thought that they were high and mighty, that they were original, that they had some kind of good idea that couldn't go wrong. What is this? Oh, that's so funny, because I have this rabbit here. Is this a reading or for someone or a collective? It's for the collective. I was getting the name Will, Stephanie, Kathleen. But look at this. This rabbit was, there's also a M on the chest, so, could be someone whose name or first, middle, or last initial starts with M. they thought that they were the hero for something. They thought that they figured something out, that their idea was going to bring them some kind of, make them look like a hero in some way, make them look like they saved the day, or like, but some kind of sudden change happened and now they're feeling exposed. Something they did was not what they thought it was going to be. What did they think it was going to be? Something that was temporary. Something that may have brought them some kind of, something that was working for a short while. It may have brought them, you know, some kind of recognition. Temporary recognition. Because this is a snowman and snow melts. But in the moment, they may have had a lot of attention. Or they may have had a lot of people praising them, or, you know, fawning for them. Both of them. So there could be two people here. There is two burglars here as well. So and two rabbits. And here's a house. I told you there's a house right here. So something. And then this is a house. Sounds like my ex. You could have two children and a dog. Someone was... There's a window in front of this woman. Two boys and a chihuahua. There's a window in front of this woman and she's painting it. But she's painting it from the other side. And it's leaned up against a lamp without a light on. And look, it looks like a freshly dug hole. Someone tried to dig a hole for you to try to make you look like something, or to try to have people look at you differently. And look at this guy looking at you from the side eyeing you. Their idea was to... They could have did something to your dog. Tulips. Pushing up tulips. There's something that they did to try to make people look at you differently, because this lamp is not illuminated. And so it kind of gives the vibe of, like, you know, them trying to make you look a certain way, or trying to control the way people looked at you, the way people perceived you. They put like a screen over you. So people would side eye you, like maybe some kind of smear campaign, or some kind of I'm not sure. They could have even tried to have your kids look at you differently. Oh my gosh, dirt floor. Spirit just said dirt. Spirit just said dirt floor, and look at this ground right here. It looks like freshly dug up dirt or something. There's something they wanted to bury. They could have tried to hurt your kids, tried to hurt your dog, hurt you, but you have some kind of protection or something, or covering, because look, under your legs is this. Yes, I finally chose myself, so I left. Oh, good for you. Yes, her and her mom are shady, plus her ex. Well, look at this, under your feet is this, covering. They tried to bury you. They tried to bury you. This is a family. They could have tried to turn your family against you. And there's a gutter on the ground. They could have made you seem like you're from the gutter. They were trying to make you look like you're like from the gutter or something. That bird sure likes to joke around. That bird sure likes to joke around. Huh. That bird sure likes to joke around. This person who did this, someone could possibly have like a sex addiction or something like that.
Fossils.
Fossils. They think it's funny to mess with people in messed up ways. Well, that's called sadism. That's called sadism when you when you hurt people on purpose just to laugh. That's sadistic. That bird sure likes to joke around. And it's a toucan. Toucans are extinct. Are toucans extinct? No, or maybe that's a dodo bird. Toucan Sam. Sam could be relevant. This gives me another vibe of exposed. Because look, this toucan's out of the pouch, exposed. This carrot is unusually, peppy, exposed. Something about them being exposed, possibly about a sex addiction or something.
Sadness can overwhelm.
Yeah, now they're exposed and they're forced to have to something about their emotions. They're having high emotions right now because they were trying to cause some kind of chaos. They were making a mess of things. They were trying to they thought it was funny, like something was fun. They thought something was a good time, like I'm going to clarify. Spirit, what was this idea, this knowledge? What was this that they were trying to do that they thought was such a good idea? It's almost like they were using the power of secrecy, like something super secret, like super definitely behind someone's back, like something that they never thought in a million years you would find out. Something they thought was so like, so mathy. It was so like put together well that you would never find out. Something like that, some kind of illusion. Please, what the hell are you saying? Please clarify. What is this illusion that they thought was just the greatest idea? It was almost like they may have like been joking about it in a public setting, perhaps with like friends or something. They may have like been joking cirrhosis. About how Spirit said cirrhosis, so they could have been drinking or when they divulge some kind of what they've been doing to somebody. What is this, Spirit? What is this illusion? What was this idea? This idea, whatever this was, they did like they were in control like for a minute, like, and there were people that were following them and they had power and they had authority and they were on a white horse like a knight or something. Don't cross the river if you can't swim the tide. Don't cross the river if you can't swim the tide. Don't cross the river if you can't swim because there's something that happened now. It's like now the tables have turned and whatever they were doing to you is now being done to them, except whatever they're trying to make people look at you like you belong in the gutter. Okay. Like you were someone heavy drinker and user of people and drugs. Yeah. They're definitely on some kind of drugs and alcohol when they divulged some kind of information of something that they've been doing to try to get you to look a certain way, something about you being in the gutter. That could be, like telling people like you're promiscuous and you have like an STD and stuff like that, like you're for everybody. Stuff, just things that make you seem, you know, I mean, it looks like they're that way. So I don't understand it, but there's something about them being exposed now, because in my dream, the roof of the house was completely exposed, and there's something here about them. Now the tables have turned and they can't handle it. Don't cross the river if you can't swim the tide. It's like something you did, or didn't do. There's something that you didn't match. The math isn't mathing. There's some kind of energy that you didn't match, or even like, match is like the best word I can use. Like you didn't react to whatever they were doing. Ducks in a row. Upper crust. Ducks in a row. Upper crust. Old soldiers never die. They just fade away. Yeah, there's something that you did. You were like above this. Like there's something you may have like felt about this person that was like not the best, and you just chose to like play the upper hand, just walk away. Like I'm not gonna match that energy. I know what you're doing. I can't prove what you're doing, but I know that you're doing something, and I'm just gonna like walk away from it. I keep getting signs that she is getting exposed and karma is coming for them. Oh, well, dang. Yeah, well, there's something here about them being exposed. Baby boomer. This could be somebody who has like an old mindset, or it could be an older person. Baby boomers, like, someone who could possibly be in like, 60s to 80s.
3,
Getting caught in red tape. 3, Baker's dozen. That's so funny. I have a song called Baker's Dozen. Spirit just said 3. And I say Friday the 13th, lucky number 13, trip 3's third eye to infinity. So something about justice. Spirit just said need justice. There's something about their karma is to have their secrets exposed, because they were trying to portray you in an energy that wasn't fitting you. And the reason why justice is being served is something about you not matching their energy. Instead, you chose to get your ducks in a row. You were like, I'm not gonna, if this is how you want to act, I'm not gonna entertain this behavior, something like that. And so you decided, I'm just gonna fade away. Like you don't wanna be involved in my life. You don't want to be a positive part of my life together. Then I'm just gonna like fade away. Never came back. Thank you, Spirit. Like I'm just gonna walk away and never come back. And Spirit's like, that's the best thing you could have done, because this person is a thief. They could possibly be like scammers, or like somebody who wears a mask, somebody who pretends to be a certain way, but really they're like a chaos agent. They don't have their life together. They could have, like I said, they could be part of a group, because I have Baker's dozen here, and I have Friday the 13th, lucky number 13, trip 3's. Oh, thank you, Jason. Well, I'm so happy that you listened and that you laughed, because, energy, when you don't resonate with certain energies, instead of entertaining the energy that makes you feel bad, Spirit always suggests that you get yourself out of that energy, so you're not having to be subjected to people who aren't on the same, vibration as you. And so there's definitely something about that here, about you choosing to get your ducks in a row, just like just like a feeling of like, well, I'm not gonna deal with these people who are acting weird. There's something about them acting weird, hitting below the belt. Yeah, because they hit you below the belt. Why did they do this? Like, what is what is this? I don't understand. I don't do stuff like this. So, my passion is to understand why people do these things. So, thank you for the confirmation. Oh, you're welcome. My pleasure. Thank you for being here. For fun. They do it for fun. I just don't understand that. It's like, I don't know if that's like a good enough answer for me, Jason, that they do it for fun. Like, I understand that, people do that, but it's like, there's nothing going on in your life. You have to hurt people for fun. I don't know. It just makes just so weird. Oh, tell me more. So this says hitting below the belt, picking up the pieces in reverse. So they hit you below the belt, and now that the tables have turned, stop the music. Now that the music stopped, their cars may be breaking down. They may have been losing their job. There's something about people walking away from them. So there's lots of things happening. They wish they could turn back the clock because, tongue in cheek, they said a lot. And I also have that bird sure likes to joke around. Tongue in cheek. It's like, oh, I was just joking. I wasn't serious. I was just playing around. They're trying to make excuses for their behavior, but so they can change the hearts of people around them that they already, ace in the hole, that they already told, these lies to, something to change the way people look at you. Ugh. Tell me more, please. Let's see. Where should we look? Thermal, thank you. Well, I heard this book today, Women Who Run with Wolves. So let's see. Myths and Stories of the Wild Woman Archetype. You will get lost trying to figure out why. Hi, I'm new. I'm Kelly. Hi, Kelly. Thanks for being here. Jason, it is my mission to figure out why people do the things they do. I could be a psychic criminologist, I think. I need to know. I feel like if we know, it's usually some kind of emotional hang up, honestly, that you triggered within them. Spirit, tell me more. Hunting. When the heart is a lonely hunter. That's what I thought. Okay, let's see. When the fisherman untangles a skeleton woman, he begins to have hands-on knowledge of life and death's articulations. The skeleton is an excellent image for the life, death, life, nature. As a psychic image, didn't I just say psychic? The skeleton is composed of hundreds of small and large odd-shaped sticks and knobs in continuous harmonious relationship to one another. When one bone turns, the rest turn, even if imperceptibly. And that goes with the unconscious mind. Because there's something they did, whatever they did to you, it was done unconsciously. Meaning it was done out of a wound that they have. So this is something that they do to people who they feel, it's almost like a self-sabotage, who they feel, anyone who may unmask them, who may see through them. This is something that they like default to when people start to unravel like who they really are. They end up having to like make that person look bad so nobody, because they're embarrassed. There's something about them. Confirmation. But there's some kind of alarm going off because all of their relationships are suppressed. Their bones are out of place. Their bones hurt. Their integrity is hurt. Everyone sees that they don't have integrity, that something about their libido. They could be having like erectile dysfunction or something like that. if they're a man. Or they could be losing, if they're a woman, all their suitors could be walking away from them. There's someone who's very promiscuous here that uses their libido as a way to hook people in, or views intimate relations as relationships or something like that. But really, they've been making poor excuses for not doing the work. They've been living in fear. They've been tricking people. I told you this is some kind of like trickster, chaotic energy, who's very hedonistic. They're very they're very greedy, and they like to they like to have a lot of intimacy things. But I think that now nobody wants to be by them. Now they're starting to realize, because of something that you did, that, yeah, gossip. I told you gossip. It says right here, endless vittles of gossip. This could be a lover who wanted to be a sure thing, but their ego replaced their passion and caused an ending. He's afraid and avoids the end. The end of anything. Kind of the end of pleasure, the end of the day, the end of fire. Like, his fear of fun ending is the thing that keeps them from doing the work. It's almost like addiction. It's something about addictions. Addiction to sex, addiction to hurting people. It says habits, movements. There's something about this person not able to find happiness in the mundane endeavors. Forwardly. They always have to be in some, it's like this is someone who's an addict. Addicted to drama, addicted to sex, addicted to substances, addicted to self-sabotage. It's because there's something within them that they can't, it's like an unconscious driving force that they don't understand drives them.
A lost treasure.
A lost treasure.
Never seen again.
This could be somebody who deals with a lot of guilt and shame, someone who uses substances and and people to mask a lot of guilt and shame. Because this person's done a lot of things in their life that they aren't proud of. Okay, and so there's something about you shaking up their foundation and exposing them to themselves, and exposing them to people around them. You could be somebody who prays. You could be somebody who chose yourself, who walked away from them, who decided to not match their energy and to just walk away from them. Okay. Thanks everyone for being here. Thank you so much. Tell me more. What's going on? So tell me, what do you want us to know about this person? What do we need to know? They wish they could turn back the clock because secrets and mysteries are being exposed. I told you, obscurity. Yeah, something that all the things they've done in their life that they've been running from. I told you, magnifying glass. They're being exposed. There's something that
Strange things.
is being confirmed and validated. They could possibly be going through some kind of supernatural experiences. And every time there's something about you exposing them, putting a magnifying glass on them. Tell me what this truth is. Tell me what these secrets are. What is this? Twin flame, reflection of soul, mirrored emotions, your other half, shared feelings. So it's somebody that you're mirroring, you're helping them see like a mirror about themselves. Some things that their whole life they refuse to look at, and now this is like the culmination of those things. And you're the person that, for whatever reason, activated this unconscious realization for them. I just want you to know that the boys are okay. Divine feminine in reverse. This is not a divine feminine. This is somebody who's opposite of that. Okay, somebody who's very manipulative, someone who's very secretive, someone who has a lot of guilt and shame. Realizations, epiphanies, understandings, awakenings. You may have forced them into some kind of ego death due to your walking away. They're like, nobody walks away from me. You don't walk away from me. They're starting to reminisce about all the good times you had together, about all the ways that you helped them, about all the ways that you, all the times that you were actually there for them. They're starting to think about that now. They're like, why did I do this? Children. They could... I saw 2 kids before, and I know some people right now. Yes, I have seen and known all that. You are just confirming it all. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. Tarot is demonic. Satan is a defeated foe in Jesus' name. Alana, tarot, we're not using tarot. We don't use tarot here. So, also, tarot is an inanimate object. It's not the tarot that's evil, it's whoever's wielding it. And the reasons they're wielding it, are they being of service or are they spying on people with tarot? It's not tarot that's demonic. And I'm not using tarot. We don't use tarot here. So thank you so much, Alana, for your input. Appreciate you. That's okay. If she's here, I got enough love. I got enough love for everyone. Maybe Alana is experiencing what we're talking about. Maybe she's feeling exposed. There's someone calling her out on these readings. So she's like, probably. Spirit said, Spirit said moan. Another one. Mistakes. Yeah, this person used to play the victim. Imagine somebody who's just in an endless cycle of self-sabotage. Every time they get a blessing, they ruin it. Every time they get something good, they ruin it somehow because they don't ever want to look at the ways that they fuck up. Okay? And when everything is everyone else's fault and you are unable to take accountability, yeah, that's a problem. That is going to directly affect your energy. And you can get things that you want or desire, but in this energy, you lose everything. You can get it and lose it just like that. Oh, thank you, Jason. Thank you so much. Thanks for sharing your energy with me.
Yes.
Wipe your... Spirit said yes. Wipe my nose. Well, I got some boogies in my nose. I don't see any. This person is very immature. Whatever happened to them to put them in this energy, they're very anxious attachment. They could possibly watch you or spy on you, because they're afraid of what you might expose about them or what they think. It's like a projection, what they did to you, trying to get everyone to look at you a certain way, because they didn't want people to look at you in a you could possibly be divine masculine or divine feminine. They don't want people to look at you that way because they're very clingy, and they don't walk in that energy. And we made a post about this. When it comes to energy, people will mistake the what's the word? When you repel someone, or you're not vibing with someone anymore. I'm writing a book, but from my rare empath view. Oh, that's beautiful. Yes, absolutely. Write the book. I'd love to read it. I think everyone should tell their story when it comes to healing and overcoming. Absolutely, because we need to hear more true life things about people who are actually going through these things. And, so now that we have social media, the new celebrity, the old celebrity is out, and the new celebrity is real people who are actually transmuting energy like this, who are choosing joy, who are choosing themselves over, people like this. In the past, we made the excuse for people like, oh, they're family, so I got to put up with their we need more real people. Yeah. Like, oh, I got to put up with their bullshit. No, absolutely not. You don't have to do that. You don't have to be around people that are not in loving energy. We don't have to put up with people who refuse to take accountability. We don't have to pretend to be around people that we don't even vibe with. Like, why do we do that? It's a new day and age, a new energy we're walking into, where the new celebrity is going to be us, real people. I love going on TikTok and seeing the real people, put their real things out. I love that because it lets me know that they're going through it too. I don't want some fake ass celebrity who has to pretend to be perfect all the time, and then really in reality they're doing the craziest shit just to be in the energy they're in. No, I'm tired of it. So this person's definitely, I will say on a positive note, you are the person that is showing this person that you can heal, basically, that you can choose yourself, that you can absolutely overcome obstacles, that you can walk away from people and not feel obligated to, make it work. You're showing them that. And you're also forcing them to have to look at some things because, if you guys watch us, and I'm so happy if you do, but we do talk about all the time that going into these new earth energies, there's going to be a big shift. I mean, there already is a shift, and there's going to be people around you or in your environment that are going to be experiencing high emotional turbulation. And those are going to be the people that are having a hard time accepting or overcoming their guilt and shame. And I'm not judging them, but this is the time. This is the time. This is it. We talked about this on Spirit News. It was called The Time Jump. If you want to go to our podcast, it's called Spirit News. It's on all major platforms. We have episodes where it's more structured, spiritual information with my spirit team, the Guild of the Golden Triangle. It's just my own spirit team. If you want to know more about the time shift, but basically we warned everybody that if you don't choose to look at the things that you've refused to look at for so long, that have kept you in continuous cycles of abuse, of blaming, of all the things, of hurting people because you can't stand yourself, then it's going to be forced upon you to look at it. It's going to be forced upon you, and you're going to come across an energy or a person that's going to activate that within you, because God's like, well, you're not doing it yourself, so let me send in patience. She's gonna, come activate something within you and trigger that. She's gonna walk away from you. I'm just using myself as an example. She's not gonna match your energy, and it's gonna send you into an ego death. So you can finally overcome these things because, I have past life here. I just saw past life, deja vu, repeated patterns, karmic lessons. You guys, we have to transmute these repeated patterns and karmic lessons from the days of Atlantis, from like ancient past that we're still in cycles of. We need to transmute it because we can't bring it into the new earth. They're two different energies. Two different energies, they don't work, okay? So there's something about them doing that. What else? What else? Yeah, I told you, attached, crave. Yeah, they have some kind of anxious attachment to you. There's something that they're obsessing about. They can't lusting. Yeah, they're lusting. They have non-committal sexual energy because they're a clown. Ugh. Shame, humiliation. They could have possibly. That's what it is. They tried to put you through some kind of humiliation ritual, but it didn't work. It actually exposed them, and now they're the ones going through the humiliation ritual. That's how it works, guys, and it's going to be faster now. So for any, karmic cross watchers that are wondering why they're going through things and they can't even fathom why this is happening to me. Why is this happening to me? Well, it's because you've been trying to, humiliate people, and you're trying to project all your weird energy onto somebody who God brought to you to mirror your energy. And now that you're in your energy, it doesn't feel so good. So that's what's happening. Okay. Ugh. We'll do some songs. We haven't done songs in a while. Songs from the 70s and 80s. Let's do some songs. So what are some songs that can describe what you want us to know? Thank you so much. What's going on with this person? This person basically tried to put you through some kind of humiliation ritual. Why? Heaven, cause you're divine. I told you, Spirit just said heaven, cause you're divine. Tonight's the night. Stay away from my window. Stay away from my back door too. Rod Stewart, 1976, and Spirit said 1970s. Tonight's the night. We're gonna be all right. Tonight's the night. Keep your hands to yourself. Spirit's warning this person. This person could possibly want to come for you or want to.
No spirit.
No spirit. Yeah, this person. This person. You could be repelling this person at this time. This person. Calling. This person could be trying to call you. You may have them blocked. My honey, my baby, don't put my love upon no shelf. She said, don't hand me no lines and keep your hands to yourself. Yeah, you're onto this person. You're like, your energy is like, don't even bother come knocking, because whatever you got to say, I don't want to hear it. I'm not answering the phone. I'm not gonna call you. Don't call me. You definitely have a repel energy from them. Stay away. Spirit's like, stay away from them. If they've been, guilt tripping you, saying, I need this and I need that, or whatever they're going to say to try to get you to talk to them, don't do it. Spirit says, stay away. Stay away from my back door too. They could possibly be trying to spy on you through different, like fake accounts and stuff, or going to your house, like driving by your house, trying to find ways to approach you, but you have a repel energy that they're feeling. Secret accounts. Yes, he wants to come, but I'm healed. Yeah, you guys are two different energies, so they could possibly be trying to find ways to like approach you or like go to your house or but they don't really have a reason because you've blocked them. You don't talk to them. So they could be trying to like email you from different accounts, spy on you, just trying to find some way to get in, mail you mail from another address or, any way they can try to like find a way to approach you. But you're keeping your hands to yourself, you're keeping your heart blocked. You're definitely two different energies, so you're repelling each other. So I think they're definitely feeling that. There's something about them. You have protection, so spirits like hands off. So they could be driving by your house, but every time they try to like come for you or come towards you in some way, like they get a flat tire or they lose their job or they get a like something like that. And so they're starting to recognize that you're hands off, you're protected, like don't come for me. There's two different energies here. Okay, so that's definitely something about that. Can I have another one, Spirit? Oh, that's too many. La Bamba. La 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 Bamba.
Sandra.
Parabala la Bamba. Yo necesita un poco de gracia. The accumulation of riches. I was going to say rituals. Because the dream book said rituals. This person could have... I don't know much about magic. I really know nothing except for what I'm learning since I've started my spiritual journey with spirit and what they've taught me about energy. And
Murky waterway.
and what Johnny, spirit said Johnny. And what I'm learning is that when a reader says witchcraft or rituals, it doesn't have to be like under the moonlight. It could be like a thought, because your thoughts turn to things. So if someone has enough emotions attached to their thoughts about you, like, I hope they die, I hope they lose their job, I hope that they, and they're thinking these things with such emotion, that is a form of witchcraft. It's a form of energy manipulation. And those things can absolutely affect you. You can absolutely be affected by people projecting their, negative thoughts about you and what they want out of you and what they expect to happen to you and blah, blah, blah. If someone's in that energy, that's something that is matching them right now. And so that could be a ritual that they do. Like every night they go onto your social media and they spy on you and they say, I fucking hate her. I hope she dies and blah, blah. Like I hope she is homeless on the streets. And who knows, maybe in this energy there is possibly someone who is like doing spells and looking up online how to do binding spells and whatever, all that shit. That could be possible too. And so it could be both. But honestly, there's no distinction between the two from Spirit's point of view, because you don't technically need a physical ritual to manipulate energy. You just have to be completely irresponsible with your thoughts. And I was having a download today, and Spirit was like, it was a question. And they were like, what if, just hypothetically say, and you don't have to believe it, but what if your thoughts do turn to things? If you had evidence that were true, wouldn't it make you more responsible with your thoughts? And it reminded me of this time when I was little, when I was really in contact with my guides, and they were always with me when I was little, and I remember it very distinctly. And there was this one particular time where they were teaching me how to control my thoughts at a young age. And I was lying in bed. I was probably like 5 or 6. And all of a sudden, I was trying to fall asleep, and I got this intrusive thought in my head of my mom being cut up into pieces in a trash can. And my spirit team was like, okay, you had that intrusive thought, so what are you going to do with it now? And I said, well, I'm really scared. Like, I don't want I don't want that. I was like frightened. I was like, where did that come from? Like, why am I thinking that? And they said, well, are you thinking that? Or did it just happened spontaneously. And that's when I was 5 or 6, that's the moment I realized that projectional thought is real, and you can receive a thought that's not yours, and what are you going to do with it? And so in that moment they taught me how to transmute it, and I've been transmuting intrusive negative thought my whole life since that moment when I realized that not every thought you think is your own. Because we're electromagnetic, we share energy. And so if you're connected to someone, probably if you're connected to someone or have a soul tie or have some kind of you know, soul tie that to them in some way, shape, or form, you can absolutely receive their thoughts and think that they're your own. How? Well, in the moment they said you the disillusioned. Thank you. In the moment when I thought that, and then they told me, well, is it your thought or did it come in? You know, were you thinking what led up to that thought? And really, it was nothing. It just appeared out of nowhere. And if I wasn't taught how to transmute it, which was just I basically, in a nutshell, what they taught me to do was say, that's silly. I don't have to think about that. And so I learned that just because the thought comes in your head doesn't mean that you have to honor it. It doesn't mean that you have to run with it. It doesn't mean that you have to give it energy. You stop it at that moment and you say, no, that's not my thought. I don't want to think that. And then you think of them in a different way. You know, that's how you transmute it. You have to change the thought. You have to be aware of the thought and then change it. And so that happens to all of us. And what if there's an unseen force that understands this about us? And so every thought we think is ours, and we run with it, and we're in fear, and we're scared, and we're paranoid, and we think that this and that, when really it was something that was projected to us. And so that's something relevant in this situation. You know, this is something that is super relevant. I don't know, that's for somebody. But there's something about them, you know, every day sitting down, looking at your pictures and wanting you to be in the worst situation. Because there's something about your energy that repels them, and they're taking that personally. And just because you and somebody aren't on the same vibration does not mean that you don't like them. And we made a post about this. We are so ignorant about energy that you could work with someone and they could feel a way about you because you have a high vibration, or you're looked at very positively and they don't look at themselves positively. And then they will take that repel of, you know, we're magnetic. So when you repel each other, it's not personal, it's energetic. It doesn't mean you don't like them. It doesn't mean that you hate them. You know, we always say there's something about them I just don't like. And sometimes it's absolutely true. There's something about their energy that's repelling your energy because you're two different vibrations. And that's kind of like what I'm feeling here. There's something wildly different about you two, the way you think, the way you act, the way people look at you, and they're taking that as some kind of like personal vendetta against you or something. But it's not, it's energy. It's just two different energies. You know, one person has a lot of guilt and shame, and one person chooses themselves, you know, and they're taking that as some kind of like, I don't know, personal vendetta against you. What time is it? The night they drove Old Dixie down. The night they drove Old Dixie down and the people were singing. They went la la la. There's something about them, about you. They think that you know their secrets or something. Something about night. Spirit keeps saying night. Sleight of hand and twist of fate. On a bed of nails she makes me wait. You too. With or without you. Sleight of hand. Sleight of hand. Didn't I say there could be someone doing sleight of hand? Something sneaky, something behind your back, something they tried to do to twist fate, something they tried to do to twist fate into their favor. Little lies. Told you. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. You can't disguise, no you can't disguise. Yeah, there's something that they
1940s,
think you know, some
2010s,
2010s, they think that you know something they did that they got away with back in the day, something they did at night, something they think you know their secrets. That could be why they were so hell bent on you looking a certain way, because they were trying to make you look like not like a reliable source of information, and then they look like, clean as a whistle because they have guilt about something that they think you know. What is this that they think you know? Philadelphia. Something about being, doesn't that movie Tom Hanks has AIDS or something? Something about them, how they might have AIDS or something, or be sick, or I used to be a Rolling Stone, if the cause was right. I have to verify. I have to put the puzzle piece in. Oh my gosh. I have to drag the puzzle piece in perfectly. There we go. Sorry. There's something about them being gay, or something about same sex, or something they used to do back in the day. Sarah, Sarah, Sarah. No time is a good time for goodbyes.
Angelic Force,
She's bi. Oh
Travel
shit.
Talks,
She's bi. Well, I think she also may, or they, whoever they are, is a collective reading, so it could be multiple people, but there's definitely something about them being gay or bi and having possibly HIV. Storms are brewing in your eyes, Sarah. There isn't just one thing that they think you know about them. But you know what's really funny is, like, I don't think that you really know anything. There's something about, like, their own fear of you outing their secrets to people that is like revealing them. But you're not even doing anything. Your song, Elton John, it's a little bit funny, this feeling inside. I'm not one of those who can easily hide. It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside. I'm not one of those who can easily hide. Yeah, it's like you're not even focused on this person, but this person was so focused on you, and they still are. Little crazy little thing called love, queen. There's something about your energy that they can't turn away from. They really find you. It's because you're magnetic at this time. You're very magnetic. You know, this is why we're very passionate about teaching the collective about energy. Because if we just knew like a quarter about how magnetic energy works, we would really save ourselves time and energy from experiencing backlash like this, and like having to fall so hard. Like, we don't have to fall this hard to overcome guilt and shame. This is definitely self-sabotage energy. This is definitely like an unhinging, like someone's becoming unhinged. They're obsessed with you. They can't stop watching you. They're like have weird sexual energy because they've been so promiscuous that they have like multiple energy attachments that aren't even their own, that are like magnifying their unconscious emotional turmoil. People are starting to see this person as like crazy. Like I'm not saying that to be mean, but they're like unhinged, and they're starting to be exposed to people. People are starting to see that they were lying about you because they were so concerned about you revealing their like life experiences that where they've, fucked up, where they like made wrong choices because they were in karmic cycles. They were so concerned about it. Possibly someone named Daniel or Danielle. There goes my baby. She knows how to rock and roll. She drives me crazy. She gives me hot and cold fever. She leaves me in a cold, cold sweat. Daniel, my brother, you are older than me. Do you still feel the pain of the scars that won't heal? Yeah. Oh, people. People are so afraid to heal that they'd rather go through this than actually heal. Amusement park, yeah. Yeah, is it fun now? Are you having fun? You thought it was so fun. But now, is it fun? Is it as fun as you thought now that it's happening to you? No, it's not. Dutch Swart. I can't say that.
It was the best time.
It was the best time. I told you they were having
You are wrong.
They were having fun doing wrong things. They thought there's something sadistic about this person. There's an uncle, there's a sibling, there's a grandmother, there's a friend, there's, I think that's it. School. This is Earth School. This is Earth School. Listen, Dutch Schwartz introduced Benny Hines to his friend as his Uncle Ben. Benny Hines introduced Dutch Schwartz to his friend as his Uncle Dutch. If you are uncles to each other, queried one of the friends, you must also be nephews to each other. That's correct, replied Dutch. Since there has been no breach of marriage law, how could such a relationship come to be? Two men marry each other. I told you, there's something about a marriage, a same-sex marriage. There's something about a same-sex marriage. An uncle, a nephew, a half-brother. Something about same-sex marriage. It could be one of the secrets they don't want you to know. I knew it. I knew it, says Jason. The king's daughter suggested that the two horsemen trade horses. There could be I have two references to horses, so there could be something about a horse farm or someone who's into horses or something. The king's daughter suggested that the two horsemen trade horses. Each horseman would now try to win the race, since if he did, the horse would come in second and he would win the king's daughter's hand in marriage. I'm telling you, there's something about some kind of secret marriage. Two of the fastest horsemen in the kingdom proposed to the... Oh, that was the answer. Oh, shit. There's something about a false marriage because it would make someone the heir to something, or something about two of the fastest horsemen in the kingdom proposed to the king's daughter. The king didn't like either suitor, but he wanted to look fair, so he suggested a horse race in which the winner would have his daughter's hand. The only catch was that the winner would be the person whose horse came in second. The king was certain the race would never take place because he felt that neither horseman would let the other win. Finally, the king's daughter made a suggestion to the two horsemen that would guarantee a fair race. The king's daughter suggested that the two horsemen trade horses. There's something about identity fraud, identity theft. But something, so what, there's so many secrets here, and there's like so many people involved. I'm not sure, like, I can't distinguish what secret belongs to what person, but there is something about some kind of identity theft where someone would pretend some kind of false marriage to pretend that they're a daughter or somebody who's a king's daughter. Oh, and I had will in the beginning. I had will, so something about a will. She has my last name, but we never actually got married. Don't gone happen. It was for show for her. Well, I don't know if it was for show. Maybe that's how she made it appear to you, but there's something about documents, something about needing to have, like, I don't know, proximity through marriage or to receive something through some kind of false marriage or something. Something about a sibling suggesting that you switch the names, like a false marriage certificate where you switch the name of the spouse to somebody else's name, something like that. Oh, too many crickets. People are so shady. It's something about a will or receiving some kind of house. I told you I have two things about a house. There's something about needing to switch the names on the marriage certificate and having a false document to say that, like, I don't know, something like that, so you can receive a house. Something about a king's castle or a king's house or something like that. It was supposed to go to you or something like that. Oh, thank you so much. Headed back to work, so I have to go. Wish I could say, oh, that's okay, Jason. Thank you for your engagement. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Thank you. I'm sure I'll see you around. Yeah, there's a secret about you not knowing that they put your name on a false marriage certificate but there's somebody pretending to be you. Lawrence could be significant, and they needed this other person. It could be a cousin or someone who pretended to be you in a false marriage because the only way they could receive this will or something in a will was if you were there, but they didn't want you to know. They don't want you to know that it's yours. They want it for themselves, but it wasn't given to them. I'm listening. It's resonating. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Tell me more about this will. They were looking for a way to have the house. And it's something about like a farm or horses could be significant.
Seriously.
Seriously. And they received it. Whatever they did worked. That could be what the spell work was. It was to like this. They did spell work to obscure the details of a document that was a false document because they wanted to receive something that was given to you in a will or a testament. And so they put your name on a false marriage certificate. And then had a person pretending to be you go to the courthouse or whatever they needed for them to receive what's yours. Everybody must showcase their best dance moves. Vote for who can really groove. Yeah, they involved many people in this, and they could have like paid them. Who is more likely to sneak into a concert and get away with it? Because they're very sneaky. They're very sneaky. They did this behind your back. So, Spirit, what should they do? Like, what do they need to do? I don't really think there's anything you need to do. I think you're doing it by, like, not giving them energy. Who would you prefer to throw a birthday party? You or them? Yeah. What ridiculous thing has someone tricked you into doing or believing? I told you. I cannot make it up. They needed you to look a certain way. for other people to be tricked by them into believing that you deserved this entrapment, that you deserved to be trapped this way. There's multiple reasons why they were doing this. And one of them is some kind of fraud, some kind of identity theft for a house that was given to you. Another person in this energy doesn't want you to reveal their secrets about them being gay or something, or being gay and getting an STD or something. And so, but you have to what we have to understand overall from a higher perspective is that every one of these people, it could be an uncle, a cousin, a sibling. There's so many people in this energy. That all of these people, the one thing they all have in common is that they're unhealed. And all of them refuse to believe that anything they do is wrong. And that's one common denominator. But the thing is that some of these people that are involved were tricked.
Energy travels.
Thank you, Spirit. They said the energy travels.
Will is furious.
Will! I told you, Will! I told you, Will keeps wanting me to give this message. I can't make it up. Will, there is like a leader or somebody who was trying to like be Captain Savaho or like the number one stunner that tricked a lot of people into coming against you. Okay. Did you have, or were you a childhood bully? Yeah, someone who's a bully. Someone who thinks that they're like the smartest person on earth. They're really full of themselves. They really thought this was like the best plan in the world. What story from your life comes to mind when you hear witch? I cannot make it up. I can't make it up. There's a woman here who thought she had it all figured out, that she was this. The thing that like always boggles my mind about these readings, and I understand why God wants us to reveal, things that are hiding and in this way, and I have fun doing it, and I'm happy to be of service. But one thing that like always seems, it just never ceases to amaze me, is how people can, like, nothing new is done. Nothing new is ever done. Like, these are continuous cycles that you can even trace back to ancient times, to the Bible, even before then, Atlantis, where these are the same karmic cycles that were created. They're just in a different time. They're just in a modern time. But they're the same behavior patterns. They're the same insecurities. They're the same tactics. This is nothing new. And it's like, when is enough enough? Like, how old do you have to be before you finally come to the realization that you don't have it all figured out, that you are a fuck up, that you do make mistakes over and over and over again, that you do have addictions? Like, when in the world are you going to get it through your head? I don't know. It just never ceases to amaze me. Who would accidentally kill a plant?
Franks. Entrapped by malevolence.
Entrapped by malevolence. These people could have tried to unalive you, make it look like an accident, like you did it to yourself, or like a car accident. They were sending spell work to make you like go crazy or something, or they thought this was the perfect plan. Who would be braver at a haunted house? I can't. I'm just done with this story, because I said in the beginning they're being haunted. There could be supernatural things happening to them, because this is a witch. This is somebody who manipulates energy to bend for them for their own selfish gains. If you were a household appliances, what would it be? You could have been experiencing in the past or recently, because of this person, they could have been sending projection magic to your house for your appliances to break, for your car to break, for you to break if you broke any bones or if you fell. What's the worst advice you ever received? Because whoa, what's this about? Someone told them to do this. Someone said, yeah, if you do this, you can make him do this or something. There's someone who told them that they could do this. And that's why they thought it was like such a great idea. What is this advice? Who gave them this advice to do this? Something that gave them satisfaction. Something they thought was going to work out for them to keep them comfortable. Who is comfortable giving this advice to them? Curse! They try
These
to.
tales are to be told.
These tales are to be told. They try to curse you, boo.
Plausibly.
Plausibly, why did you reach out last night? My ex Robert, he have a girlfriend. Because he's an idiot. Because he doesn't like his girlfriend. He's still thinking about you. That's why. This person tried to curse you. Someone said they could curse you and they would have sweet dreams. But the opposite is happening. Now they're having conflict. Because justice is here. They collaborated with, this could be your family, because I have two uncles, I have a brother, I have a sibling, I have a cousin. This could be some kind of family thing. Doesn't have to be, but they definitely were told by somebody how to curse you. And really the curse went back to them. Why did the curse go back to them? Why isn't it affecting you? Why did they curse themselves doing this? Good news. Because you're a good person, because a miracle. You could be receiving some kind of letter, some kind of miracle is happening for you because of what these people did. Because you're okay, you got stability. They're like, what? Why is it happening to us? Why isn't anything happening to them? Because their mask is falling off. They thought they cursed you, but they really cursed themselves. Why did they curse themselves? Why didn't it work, Spirit? Why didn't it work, Holy Divine Spirit? Because you were prepared? Because you were prepared. Because you were just, you chose yourself. You chose yourself. You didn't make any hesitation. Once they showed you their mask was off and you kept seeing glimpses of it, you took that as a sign that there's something fishy going on here. And instead of allowing the fishiness to keep happening and happening over and over again, you took that as a sign like, I'm just going to walk away from this. That's why the curse went back to them. And that's why they're going to possibly have deaths of many kinds. Everyone who they allied with and collaborated with is receiving a lot of death at this time. A lot of endings. People are losing their jobs. People's cars are breaking down. People are walking away from them. There's so many things happening to these people. They're wondering why it's happening to them and not to you. Because you're okay. They thought this was a bright idea, but you're over here saving money, working on yourself. You could be starting a new career. They try to set a trap for you, but nothing can disrupt your peace. And that's what's really, really pissing them off. They're pissed. They thought that they could use these people like a marionette. They thought that they had all the strings, but really they didn't control anything. Now they're stressed. They're in a nightmare. Oh. Tell me about this house. You could be receiving a letter about this. They're really scared for you to receive some kind of letter. I cannot make it up, you guys.
Rusted gate.
They try to sacrifice you. They try to sacrifice you and do some kind of humiliation ritual on you because this is some kind of karmic cycle that they do in every life. There's something about a fire. I don't know if someone has experienced a fire in this group or they're going to, because They took some kind of adventure to sacrifice somebody who's a good person. That's why Peacemaker, I told you, who's a mediator, who's a diplomat, somebody who's a pacifist. You don't want to fight nobody. You don't want no drama. You're just a good person, and they hated that about you. So now that you're going to get some kind of letter from the courts or from a lawyer or something that's going to revolutionize this energy, it's going to cause some kind of uprising, because this swindler or these swindlers, these people stole from you. They stole from you, these city dwellers. They stole from somebody who's a saint. And just like that song in the beginning, it was Sun and Moon by the Diamond Saints. Because you have some kind of royal DNA. You come from spiritual royalty. I rebuke all sorcery, enchantment, divination. Well, his name's Yahshua. His name's Yahshua.
Spider.
Spiders could be significant.
Menacing high-pitched laughter.
Burned. There's something about a house fire. That could be another secret. They're trying to make it so you don't reveal. This devil. This person is in devil energy, and there's something that they do with fire. They could be an arsonist of some kind. They could possibly use fire as a way to, like, erase things that they do, or erase people, or they've hurt people with fire. That's another secret that they don't want you to know about, because they use dark magic, and they're cursed. They curse their whole bloodline. How can we heal it? What do you want us to know about this energy? How can we transmute it? How can we heal it? How can we heal it? Thank you so much for being here. I hope this helps someone. I hope this reveals something from a higher perspective. How can we heal it? This is a message from Will. Will significant to somebody? Magic. I embrace my transformation. I courageously let go of the past. The magic of nature is in me. I am brilliant and I am blessed. Yes. Okay. Thank you. So going forward, the old world used ritualistic magic to bring themselves wealth and abundance, but really that's not necessary. That's a very masculine way of looking at. They burned my house down. Oh my gosh. Well, it's definitely going to come back to them. That may possibly be a way that they end themselves if they've used fire as a way to, I don't know what they're doing with fire. They could have possibly burned down many houses, many buildings, or burned your photos or something like that. But what we're learning through energy and through our spirit team is that as we integrate more feminine energy in, as Mary Magdalene comes ushering in more feminine energy back into the collective.
Light.
The feminine energy, and we just finished episode number 19, The Rise of Divine Feminine Energy, and Spirit revealed that it's a very masculine way and a very disconnected way to use rituals or irresponsible thoughts filled with emotion to manifest what you want. And feminine energy knows that it doesn't need anything outside of itself to manifest what it wants. And so the Dragonfly Magic card is saying none of this was necessary to get what they wanted. All they had to do was forgive themselves, be positive, know that everything works out for them, know that the universe has their back. All they have to do is do the work to heal and to reconcile all the mistakes they made in their life. But instead, what they did was they took energy from someone else who was living a life of joy and living a life of choosing themselves, and for whatever reason they they wanted to come against you. Or, well, there's multiple reasons. One of the main reason is because of this house. And so they needed a way to get rid of you. Okay, they needed a way to take what was given to you by somebody in a will without you knowing. And so what's the best way to affect somebody without them knowing? Magic. And so if they would have just told you, you would have been happy to just let them live in the house. It's like that energy. If they were just open and willing enough to share and to just, do what's right, it would have worked out for them. But instead they did the opposite. They did everything they could and that was possible to get rid of you, to make sure you didn't know, to take from you, instead of just accepting that it was given to you and that you're somebody that would have absolutely shared with them, and you would have even let them live in the house. Like, what do you care? That's the kind of person you are. But instead, they try to control and manipulate the outcome to work for them in a very dark energy. And the more they did that, the more people they involved, and the more depraved their actions were. And Spirit said night again, something that they're doing at night. The more fun they had watching you suffer, it just kept digging a hole for them. And they thought they were digging the hole for you. But the magic, you're doing the real magic. The magic is within you. You don't have to do rituals to receive positive manifestations. You just have to be happy and know that you're a good person and do the right thing. Okay? They're going to jail. Yeah, probably. You're going to get something in the mail about it. Inner power, give me the courage and the power to do what must be done. Invite help. Invite the divine to pursue you. Seriously, just say, I'm finally ready, God, pursue me. It's like these people are very crafty. I have sacrifice again. That's twice. It's like these people are very crafty in a very dark way. They had such creative ways and such, very thoughtful ways to try to manipulate this energy for their outcome. If they would have just put that energy into their own healing, it would have been completely different. They could have invited spiritual inner power to help propel them through the healing process, to help give them what they want. But instead, they had a very lack mentality. There was more like, well, why does he or she get this? Why can't I? Why does everyone, like them? Why don't they like me? It was very, self-deprecating. And so they had such creative ways to try to take this from you, and they became so obsessed with like how you're not affected by things, and they kept having to like double down and like go harder, and they'd come together in this group chat and they'd say, well, this isn't working, how about this? And every time they try to do something to you, you just transmuted it. And so all these ways that they were creative and they were in a group and they were collaborating, it just went towards the wrong energy. And so now they're wondering what's happening and why they're being exposed and why the tables have turned. It's because you're like a marble, and marbles don't stick to Velcro. So it's energy. They keep trying to do things to you that don't match your energy. Okay, so you can't come after somebody who's a saint, who's a good person, who has inner peace, and expect to overpower them with tactics that they don't implement themselves. Okay? Of course you should forgive them. Absolutely. The reason why we like doing these readings is because we know from a higher perspective that there's a higher knowing of why these people do the things they do. And it has nothing to do with you. You're just a mirror for them. You're just a mirror that God hopes that helps them to see themselves, because they're not taking the time to realize that they could have everything they want if only they love themselves. There's too many things they've done that they feel guilt and shame about that they are projecting onto you because you haven't done those things. And they're wondering, that this is it's very personal. They're taking your growth very personal. Okay? And so run. And so the lesson here is ritualistic offerings. I was just going to say, the lesson here is, what are you sacrificing of yourself every time you make a decision to descend against somebody? Does that make sense? Like, every time you make a decision to hurt somebody or to take from somebody who has done nothing to you, you descend. You walk backwards in time. You literally like fall. It's a falling. And you regress into lower timelines where you actually receive exactly what you gave out with precise accuracy. Okay, and so this is a descent. If they ever want to get out of this, then they have to ask for help, and they have to admit that they were wrong, that this was not the way to go about doing this. They need to forgive themselves if they ever want to open up the possibility of inviting help from God. These people will never ask for help from God because they don't feel that they're worthy enough to forgive themselves. These are going to be souls that have tainted their bloodline, that, this is going to be a cycle that generations after them experience until somebody breaks this curse. They've cursed themselves. Okay. So they might be asking, well, how can I change it? I've come this far. How can I change it? Always forgive, don't forget. Absolutely. Yeah, how can I change it? The way they could change it is to admit that they may have went too far, that they may have been a little obsessed with keeping this from you, that their greed and their ego and their pride kept them from involving you into it's in the mirror. They kept them from looking at themselves and justifying the way that they were coming at you, coming against you. They had to justify it through lies, and then they started to believe their own lies, because how can you justify going after someone who didn't do anything to you? So they do have a lot of healing to do, and I hope that they get to do that. And I hope that this helps in any way. I love you guys so much. Thank you for all of your love and support. I will see you on the next one. Okay, bye.